Hey there, I'm Patrick Franco and I am joined by Melly, who's here today to be our student as we look at Dolphin Pose. Now this pose is a great preparatory pose for other poses like Headstand or Forearm Stand, and it could be considered an inversion even though the feet in this shape don't actually leave the floor. And this is why it's also great to utilize when you are working on those inversions like Headstand or Forearm Stand. So specifically, Dolphin Pose strengthens the muscles of the arms, the shoulders, the back, as well as the abdominal muscles and the hip stabilizing muscles. It stretches the hamstrings, the entirety of the spine, the shoulders, the triceps, and the armpits. So let's go ahead and take a look at Dolphin Pose now. And Melly's gonna start on her hands and her knees. Once you start here, you're gonna interlace your palms. And when you interlace your palm, or bring your forearms down first, then interlace your palms. There you go. Now, if we were gonna do classic Shirshasana headstand, the head would touch down inside the cup of those hands, but your head is actually gonna stay off the floor in Dolphin Pose. Once you interlace your palms, you're gonna press your elbows, forearms, wrists down, and then curl your toes under. Lift your knees, lift your hips as if you were doing downward facing dog. Good. Now again, the forearms, elbows, wrists are rooting down. The hips are lifting as if you were doing downward facing dog. So you're trying to get as much length in your spine as you can. And then if possible, she's gonna walk her feet in, bringing her hips more over her elbows and shoulders. The key here is to continue to integrate the muscles of your back towards your chest and towards your thighs. Good. Your head again is staying off the floor and you're trying to maintain that lift and lightness up through your pelvis and spine. And then she can walk back and come down and rest for a second on her knees and sit up. So one of the things that happens in this shape is if you are tight or stiff in your upper back, it's hard for students to then walk their feet in without letting their back and shoulders disengage and move towards their head instead of their legs. So this is something that we really need to pay attention to as we work on this shape. And so Melly's gonna do it again for you, and I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. And then you can see if this is happening when you do the shape. So she brought her elbows and forearms down, she interlaced her palms, now she's gonna curl her toes under and lift her hips. So this is a great place to work, but this upper back needs to stay moving in towards your legs. But if you're tight there, Melly's gonna walk in and she's gonna let her back go towards her hands. And you can see that she starts to round in her back and her back muscles are not really doing what they're meant to do, which is to provide a wall for her body as she climbs her hips up. So I'm gonna ask her to reintegrate her back towards her legs, lift her hips, and then hopefully that looked great. You can see how when she integrates her back, she now has more stability. And this is why this is a great prep pose to eventually go up into headstand or forearm stand, because you're gonna need these muscles of your back. All right, and then when she's ready, she can come down and rest. So there you have it. Dolphin Pose. It's the beginnings of an inversion, specifically headstand or forearm stand. It really works on integrating the muscles of the upper back and elongating the spine as preparation for some of those more challenging inversions. All right, keep practicing and we'll see you on the mat next time.